reality of this world encompasses much more than meets the eye. There are countless things we cannot see or fully understand, yet we can interpret, feel, and experience their influence. Contrary to popular belief, humans have the ability to create superhuman effects by harnessing the energy within ourselves. This energy exists in all living beings. Today I'm going to show you how to unlock and use this energy within yourself. Hello, and welcome to the library. Feel free to use the timestamps and skip to a section that interests you, or follow along for the best results. For the sake of time, I'll create separate videos that explain these energies more in depth, along with my techniques and personal experiences. For us to test your sensitivity, we will start with a few basic exercises. If you find any of these difficult to understand or replicate, I'll put a video on screen after progression 1. This will give you some exercises to start with and become more sensitive. Progression 1. Learning control and focus. Warning. Effects will differ from person to person. Make sure you're in a place where you can concentrate for the best results. This exercise is a step-by-step exercise which is best done sitting down. So, to start off, take one hand and hold it out in front of you, palm facing upwards. You may have your fingers stretched out like this, or have them relax, as if you were holding a ball. Then, take the index finger from your opposite hand and place it in the middle of your palm. Now, count to 5 while your finger is in the middle of your palm. Once you reach 5, remove your finger and pay attention to where you were touching. You should be able to feel a remnant feeling where you were touching, as if someone tapped you on the shoulder but in your palm. Focus on that remnant feeling. Envision a dark circle where that remnant feeling is. Once you do, you should feel a small difference. Have that dark circle condense. Once you make it condense, it should build pressure in a way. And then have the dark circle expand to cover your entire hand and observe the effects. When done correctly, it will feel like your hand is filled with, covered in, or coated in something. It may also feel heavier, but this is a great example of focus, and it may be your first time controlling it, but it is a key concept in energy manipulation. Here's another example. This part might seem random, but go ahead and flex your thigh. Now, instead of flexing it, only think about flexing it and partially tense your muscle, never allowing it to move. It should not move at all while you're trying to move it essentially. This will create a pressure or a tension in your thigh that is noticeable. Let's take this a step further. Now that you have this noticeable tension in your thigh, we're going to use a technique called metering. So empty that pressure to where it completely goes away, and then allow it to come back, as in recreate that feeling. Allow the feeling to drain halfway. and then a quarter to feel the difference. Allow the rest of the energy to drain from your thigh and fill it all the way back up gradually to understand the technique of metering. As stated earlier, for the sake of time, I will cover more techniques like metering in other videos. But for now, we will continue with your energy training and other aspects that are relevant to your progression. This is also the final prerequisite to learning how to trigger your energy. By now, through training, you should have noticed a slight pressure on your forehead. This is your focus point for the concept known as focus. Now we're going to use that pressure to cast a spotlight on your hand. This spotlight should resemble what's in front of you on the screen. Let's first have this spotlight shrink down to a smaller size. As you do that, you'll feel the pressure that you noticed in your forehead increase. This is normal. This is what's known as inward focus. Now, instead of shrinking the circle, allow it to expand. You'll notice the pressure instantly relieves. This is what's known as outward focus, expansion. These are two vital concepts to learning how to trigger your energy. Congratulations, you've made it through progression 1. Now we'll move on to progression 2, where I'll teach you about Yin Energy. By the end of this progression, you will learn how to trigger your chills at will and use them for physical, mental, and spiritual effects. Have you ever felt a chill down your spine? The feeling of goosebumps? Maybe you felt it while listening to an emotional song, or that feeling you might get when someone just barely touches your neck. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, perfect. We'll trigger it soon. If you're able to control it, congratulations. You have an ability that about 1 in 1,500 people in the world learn to control on their own. Scientifically known as VGP, and referred to in a study by the National Library of Medicine. It's the ability to trigger chills that create effects and also make your hair stand on end as a side effect. This study was very in-depth, and the material directly correlates to portions of this video. I'll make another video about its direct correlation to key energy another time. It's okay to be unaware of the feeling I'm referring to. You can still learn how to use it. It'll just be easier for people who are already aware. So, for anyone who can remember the feeling of a chill, or may have had one during this video, go ahead and recreate that feeling in your body if possible. If you're unable to do it by just thinking about it, think about one of your favorite songs, or a person you love, or a specific action like someone playing in your hair or touching your neck. Triggers will vary from person to person, but this will work for most people. If you can't experience a chill with this method, don't worry. I have a better method for you to try. First, think about the back of your neck. This is where your yin energy, or chills, are produced and travel. Once you have an image of the back of your neck, envision an outline around your body. This outline should be accompanied by pressure on your skin and a pressure in your forehead, which is focus. Have the outline press against your skin to create this pressure. Use inward focus to press the outline to your skin. Once you feel a noticeable pressure in your forehead and a noticeable pressure on your skin, which can be manipulated and metered at will. Apply the exact same inward focus to the back of your neck while maintaining the outline. This will trigger your chill. The strength of the chill depends on the individual, but when done correctly, this technique is called a contain, and you may relate to the illustration on screen. Alright, let's take a quick intermission and discuss two key topics that we need to talk about before we continue. Thought plus energy, and sustain versus contain. First off, thought plus energy equals an effect. This only means that you will not have any effect or a desired effect if the correct thought and the proper amount of energy is not put into the equation. Let's also talk about sustain versus contain. More than likely, during progression 2, you experienced a contain, where you focused your energy with the outline and produced one chill or a few chills within a few seconds. This will lead to a contain where you're holding the built-up charge in your body with focus. In order to sustain, you must basically flex the muscle that produces the chill for the entire time. This will provide you with a constant chill, which gives you more energy and a larger effect. We have reached the final progression, progression 3. Here, you will become familiar with Yang energy, the heat in your body, the butterflies in your stomach, the hot flash on a hot day. Yang is interpreted in many different ways, as is Yin. Let's begin. Take 2 fingers and press down about 1 inch below your belly button. This exercise is very similar to ones we've done prior. This is where your Yang energy is, or your Dantian. After you've held your fingers here for about 5 seconds, remove your fingers. You should feel a remnant pressure where your fingers were. Envision a dark circle where that pressure is, and then have that pressure start to expand, growing outside of your body. Make sure to apply outward focus to this dark circle as you expand it, so you are sort of flexing it but not, as shown earlier in progression 1. Because of your new understanding for control and focus, the last 2 progressions may have been quite easy for you. If so, try this. With this exercise, you should develop a good understanding of your potential with this energy. Let's start here. Envision your body. The technique will be similar, so envision an outline around your body. This should cause a pressure on your skin and a pressure that's noticeable in your forehead. The pressure in your forehead is your focus, which is causing the pressure that's noticeable on your skin. Now focus on the back of your neck again to trigger your chill, just like progression 2. This time, make sure you're focused on your outline as well as your chill. This will contain your energy in your body and give you a much more refined effect. You'll have effects of buzzing, vibrating, something akin to particles flying throughout your body. Depending on the level of energy, it may feel like you are actually charging your energy, which you are. Once you learn to sustain, your charge is more effective, and you can gather and hold more energy. And this only scratches the surface of what can be achieved with your energy. The potential is boundless. If you'd like, pursue the simple benefits. Through basic practice, you'll see a large increase in physical and mental well-being. Normally, through the development of better habits, increased longevity, and a deeper understanding for managing and reducing your stress. The increased longevity is a byproduct because you understand how to manage your stress a lot better. Through the process, you end up with a connection to yourself that you never had, with a connection to your environment that you've never had, and you end up making connections with people around you that you never imagined were possible. In a basic sense, learning to use this energy can help you in the most simple way when you're having a bad day. It'll keep you as a real chill guy and help all that stress go away. And yet, there is still so much to learn. So many things we don't understand about this energy. Ways we can learn to apply it. It'll take consistency and training to develop the results and effects you desire, to achieve power greater than you can imagine. And who knows what that could be. Only practice for about 30 minutes a day as of now, because there are drawbacks and repercussions to straining yourself. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I would have made this video longer, but it would have been about 30 minutes to an hour if I squeezed everything I wanted to in here. So if you're interested, check out my Patreon in the description. It's the best way to stay informed and get daily information on the subject. There's also a free tier, so you do not have to pay anything. I will also make follow-up videos for YouTube and Patreon on the subject to go way more in depth about how these energies function and the uses of these energies at the different levels they are applied. Because I could not fit the 4 classifications of basic energy use within this video, check out the description so you can read up on it yourself, and I will make a detailed follow-up video on that next. This is a topic I love, and I've always been deeply intrigued about it. I'm happy to finally be able to share it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and help the algorithm spread the video so they too can develop the energy within themselves.